Uh, so, I'm here. I'm experiencing so much. um, so much is going on inside of me, and I don't particularly quite or fully understand what or how to um, or what's coming at me or what is going through me and what is like being sent to me, the messages that I'm getting, the downloads, the uploads, the visuals, the insight. All I do know is that I'm normally like pretty like up silly, upbeat. Um, um, I normally mostly have like silly, like high energy. Um, some days, very few days, but for the most part, it's like I'm not down. But when I feel down, it's like I'm down, and I'm like I like my alone time, my space to myself. Like I just want to be left alone. Let me process this fucking day or this moment or what I'm going through. I've noticed that I really, um, I like I have some moments where I feel like, oh, I'm super lonely and I'm just alone. And in fact, I am alone in a sense, and it makes sense to me. But the loneliness that I feel is mostly, I believe, from like just the pain and maybe like all the negative things and the traumas and stuff that I've been through, all the abuse through my whole life, and I've experienced, and stupid decisions that I made that I put myself through that causes that loneliness type of mentality or energy to rise up, and where there were moments where I wasn't able to see through the loneliness and see that it was a blessing for me. It's a blessing in disguise. And then lately, I've really been like, it's like this quantum healing that's like, or these processes that I've been going through where it's like, okay, I remember this moment. I remember feeling like this before. I remember this, and like having nostalgic feelings and stuff. And then sitting there with myself and being like, okay, you've always made it through most situations, and you fought through the loneliness, and I've always made it work for me, like for myself, making myself work for me, like in the healing process, in the learning process, and in the process of like discovering more and more about myself and who I am and things I like or dislike, things I would tolerate or won't tolerate, things that are unacceptable, and all in like pushing me, guiding me, and leading me to like what's for my highest good or what's for my best. That's like for my best interest, for personal growth, and trying to be a human here on this planet. I notice I get really annoyed and irritated when people try to force or is what's the word, intrude upon my space. Um, it's like when you're sitting on the phone and it's like you have your headphones on, or you're talking on the phone, or you're actually having a conversation and your eye contact, or you're not even looking in the direction of the people or person that may come up to you in your face or in your space and tries to talk to you, and you're just like, do you not see that I'm on the damn phone? Do you not see the headphones in my ear and this cord? Like, I don't have an oxygen tank, so do you see this cord hanging here? And this device in my hand, and do you see that I'm not looking at you, and yet you're still trying to pry into to my energy, prying to my space. Like it's like, hello, goodbye. Um, it makes me feel some type of way. It's like a, I probably have to delete this video. I don't know how it's going to be able to stay up or whatever because it might take up too much space on my phone. But anyway, so I actually got myself up and made it out of the house to go to the park. It is effing gorgeous outside today. And whatever this is that I'm feeling inside, it's like I can hear a part of my voice and other things in my head saying, "This is you. This is what you like to do. You're weird. You're strange. You're awkward. You like to get up and just go out into like into into things." It's like not quite nature, but it's as close as I can get to nature for me. There are some trees. There is grass. um, and like feeling and being at peace and like the feeling like, okay, this, I feel okay. But still there's that feeling where it's like I have this little bit of like, it's not negative anxiety and it's not the stressful anxiety. It's like a excitement and trying to and learning to determine the balance between like the nervousness that's like that causes stress and like worry or something, but then there's still that like stress and worry, like, okay, of being excited and it being in a positive type of energy and like mind frame or mindset and aspect of how I see things, just like because of like when this, this is like basically the first time in my life for me where it's actually see myself and feel myself moving in both of those realms. There was just a glitch right now in both of those like realms of my mentality or my mental stability or my where I balance out my emotions and the scepters that go off and be like, okay, there's something's not right here, something's off, and then still feeling like, okay, there's still some positivity here, there's still some it's healthy energy, but yet you could still sense that there's fuckers around or people around that want to still try and cause problems or issues for you. It's like I instantly pull myself away so fast. The minute that I sense that, okay, you have a nasty tone, the inflections of the words that you're saying and your attitude and your body language is telling me I should be forewarned about where you're coming from and how you're directing it to me, and have an actual positive, feel good inside about like, I don't feel bad that you are pissed off or upset because I do not want to talk with you right now. And I only have limited conversation for you. I only have limited time and energy to be around you or deal with you or anyone like that comes at me in a certain way where it's like they feel like they're like I'm obligated to speak something to them because of who they are or who they think they are, or who they believe they are. Like I give respect to people that honestly, it's like, okay, some people deserve it and some people just deserve the bare minimal of respect. It's just like, okay, you're a human. I'm not going to be rude to you. I'm not going to be a dick, but I'm not going to let you walk over me and disrespect me because of your position at a job that you have, or because you're an elder, or because what you're doing or what you can do for me or whatever. You're a human just like I am. So it's I get turned off really quick when I see people try to use their place or their power of their position of power over me and over my insecurities. If there's any my personal insecurities that they may see, because we can see other people's insecurities or things that they might not feel that we might not feel too confident about ourselves or whatever. That doesn't mean that we're an insecure person. It's just there's certain we don't know, people don't understand and don't know what other people have gone through. And like the minute that I feel that energy rise up, I'm like, I'm already shut down. I'm already shut off. I'm already closed off to you. And especially if you cross me, like if you disrespect me in a blatant way and do things that is like, why are you taking your time out to try and figure these things out about me that have nothing to do with the present moment or whatever? You're so consumed. People are so consumed. Like there's this one person that's so consumed with trying to understand me and figure me out, and it's a constant battle, like daily, like of trying to pry inside my emotions or inside of me, or just like constantly, just it's like, just leave me alone. Let me be. Let me have my space. Let me have my time alone. Um, and I've learned lessons pretty well. Is like some of the things that we're raised up on, like the phrases like "speak unless you're spoken to," respect your elders and stuff like that. Like those little stupid phrases that we have, they hold some weight and some high meaning, some meaning to them. But then until there's a point where people try to use those places in a position, the position and the power that they have, to where they disrespect you or they abuse their power. Um, it really sets me off, and it sets me off to a point where it's like, okay, I can't trust you. I honestly can't trust you. That doesn't mean that I have to treat you like shit or disrespect you, but honestly, I don't trust you, and that's it. Um, and the respect that you get from me and the kindness you get from me is me staying away from me. It is me staying away from you. Is me saying less to you. Is me not engaging with you and the things that you do, because you're hurting. People hurt themselves when they do the gossiping and just negative talk about other people, and then how people do things for others, and then they complain about it, and especially if they weren't asked to do it. It's like, why are you doing these things? If you're going to complain about it, are you doing it for validation? Are you doing it for like a gratification of something to make yourself feel good, and then you feel crappy when the people don't respond to you the way that you want them to, or you believe that they should? It's like you're offering someone to go to the store for them, or you're offering to buy someone something, and if they choose to take it, that's either whatever the other person's reason is, they chose to do that. But people can't be upset with how the people responded to it. It's like, if they didn't say thank you, if they didn't say this, it's just, you got to look in yourself and be mature enough to say, okay, well, that fucker didn't say thank you, that fucker didn't do this, well, I'm not going to do that anymore. Well, there you go, that's your prerogative. Just like it's their prerogative to not engage back or to respond back. And some people, is like their mind is not really sitting there thinking on the littlest or pettiest things. Their functions, like, you don't even know like if that person really needed what you offered to them, whether you wanted to or not. Because like, whether the Bible is fully real true or not, it's a guideline, and the things in there of the like behaviors that we're supposed to have as humans, and how we treat each other and how we have to treat ourselves and help ourselves. It's like, if the universe can use a donkey and a burning bush, um, you can best believe that they're going to use the most shittiest person in the world to to bless someone with something that, it could be a good person or a bad person. Well, not so much to say a good or bad person. It could be a person that is not the kindest person or whatever, but it's something that they needed. And the universe always like speaks up, and the universe always seems to come through, and it might not be when we expect it, but it usually comes through at the right timing for our lives or the path that we're on. I can't believe I'm actually outside, and I don't know, I don't understand. I'm like tripping out because I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel good, and I want to like sit in this moment and enjoy it for myself and how it feels. And I'm like, I actually like, I'm like, I remember this feeling. I remember times before in my past and growing up when I will like feel good and I'd have this feeling that I have right now. And I would be so just excited and just like in awe because I'm like, how can I feel good in this shitty situation? Like when there was so many bad things that were happening to me or going on, bad things that were happening around me, and I'm like, it's okay to have a peaceful moment to myself and feel actually excited about something. That trips me the fuck out, and it feels good because it's like I'm having this moment with myself, like by myself, and I'm like feeling like this little bit of like peace that I'm like, okay, I need to be at peace. I will be at peace. I am at peace with things. I might not agree with it or like it, but I have to be at peace. I have to accept things for what they are and see like I because I've noticed in my life like I've noticed in my life there's things that I wanted, and I've gotten things that I wanted in the time frame or quicker or at the moment when I asked for it. But then there were situations where it was like where it was I wanted this and I got there, or I wanted something but I was redirected to go somewhere else or shoved in a different direction or pushed in a different direction or led, or I had to I just got up and went in a different direction, whether it was my own choice or a decision from my own actions, or whether it was like around me, like people working together, even in negative situations where people would try to force me like to not come to a certain place or not to be in a certain place. And I was like, you know what? Um, Back then it was horrible and hard to deal with, and I understood, but it still hurt, and I didn't like. I understood, but I didn't understand. Um, and I accepted it, but I wasn't fully accepting of it because I was. This is what I want, and like phrases that come in. The one that's been coming out was like, rejection is usually the universe's protection. The universe protection of situations where it's not going to be the best of situations for you. It's not going to have the best outcome from you. And you can't see it now. You may understand it or you may not understand it, but you can see why. And it always, it's always like, it's not a split thing for me. There's like so many multiple things, like how I look at it. Situations I try to see, I don't try to, I always look and see, well, here are the pros and cons. Here's the possibilities of how it can work for me. Here's the possibilities of how it won't work for me. Um, what am I going to do, and if this situation arises and I don't feel like moving forward or doing that because my symptoms are bothering me or I'm triggered or something. So all I know is that right now in this moment, I'm out of the house. I don't know. There's a bunch of people here at the park. I went and got my packet for the new for the mental health place. So I have to fill that out, get it taken care of. I was going to go by the grocery store, but I don't feel like going right now. And I didn't bring my bags or anything. I was trying to get to the mental health place before they had lunch. It took me forever to get out of the freaking house and get up and get ready. So this video is not very articulate. It's just a video journal, and I might have to delete it because it might take up too much space on my phone.